This was an incredibly dangerous mission.
Just moments ago, White House officials wrapped up a briefing on the 2 airmen shot down and rescued in Iran, all while Iran rejects the latest ceasefire proposal from the U.S. An urgent recall for more than 3 million eye drop bottles, a warning from the FDA this afternoon.
I have been really concerned and alarmed by the number of gray whale strandings we've had.
A young gray whale tragically dies after it was spotted swimming in the Willapa River. Why experts say incidents like this are part of an alarming trend. Plus, the Artemis II crew is now deeper into space than any human has ever gone before. The details at noon as they circle the moon. And we start with breaking news along the Portland waterfront, where dive teams are in a recovery mission after a car went speeding through Tomahawk Waterfront Park and right into the river. Thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Tim Gordon. This happened early this morning in downtown Portland. Thomas Schultz joins us now from the waterfront. Thomas, what's the latest there?
Yeah, well, Tim, around 10 o'clock this morning, we saw Multnomah County Sheriff's Office divers go into the water and appear to pull out what looked like a body bag from the river right below us. Multnomah County Sheriff's Office tells us they are engaged in recovery efforts. They've not confirmed whether anyone has died as a result of this crash into the river. Police say the driver was speeding through downtown Portland just after 2 o'clock this morning, traveling in the wrong direction. Police tried to stop them. Instead, the driver kept driving through Waterfront Park before crashing into the Willamette River. One person was taken to the hospital with unknown injuries. This morning, we spoke to family members who did not want to go on camera, but they tell us multiple people were in the car. Those family members have been here for hours now, and as you can imagine, there's been a lot of crying as family and friends grapple with their grief together, now more than a dozen on scene. Meanwhile, divers with the Sheriff's Office have been going in and out of the water all morning long. And around 10:30 this morning, a tow truck right here pulled up to the waterfront as well, and it looks like they're trying to determine how they're going to get this vehicle out of the water. In the meantime, you see below them those 2 rescue boats with Multnomah County Sheriff's Office continuing to have divers go in and out of the water as they manage this scene here along the Willamette River, one that stretched on nearly 10 hours now after this car crashed early this morning. Tim?
Thomas, thanks very much for that report. An ongoing situation there, and it appears to be a sad one as well. Well, an update today on Multnomah County's deflection program. That's the option of treatment over jail for those found in possession of a small amount of hard drugs and nothing else. In January, District Attorney Nathan Vasquez said his office would start prosecuting people who fail the program, meaning if they don't meaningfully engage with treatment in 90 days. Since the start of this year, 50 people have gone through the deflection program. The DA's office is now waiting on the health department for the number of people who did not engage with treatment. Then they'll work with the Portland Police Bureau to find those people and prosecute them. KGW has reached out to the health department, and we'll have the latest numbers tonight on KGW News at 6:30. Well, new this afternoon, we're learning Iran has rejected the latest ceasefire proposal from the U.S. and instead wants a permanent end to the war. President Trump just held a press briefing where he spoke about the rescue mission for the 2 U.S. service members whose F-15 fighter jet was shot down over Iran.
Both members of the crew ejected from the aircraft and landed alive on Iranian soil. I immediately was asked to make a decision. I ordered the U.S. Armed Forces to do whatever was necessary to bring our brave warriors back home. A risky decision, because we could have ended up with 100 dead as opposed to 1 or 2.
The U.S. stepped up threats against Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz or face a barrage of attacks on civilian targets. The president again today issued a deadline to Iran for tomorrow night to make a final deal. All right, we're taking a live look at NASA TV, where the Artemis II crew just completed an historic milestone for humankind. The crew reached the farthest point humans have ever been in space. Just about an hour ago, they broke the distance record from Earth that was set during Apollo 13 in 1970. Today's historic flyby of the moon allows them to capture new images of the lunar surface, including regions we've never seen before directly by human eyes. And coming up at 3:44, there'll be a communications blackout as the spacecraft passes right behind the moon. For about 40 minutes, there will be no contact between the Earth and the crew, where they'll be able to experience a total solar eclipse. Their lunar observation period should wrap up around 6:30 this evening, when the moon's gravity slingshots that spacecraft back toward Earth. Pretty cool. We're taking a break from the headlines now. Let's switch gears. Take a look at just what's been a beautiful little stretch of weather. Meteorologist Rod Hill up on the weather deck, tracking the latest. Hey, Rod.
Well, first off, reporting from planet Earth. Let's start with the very basics here, Tim.
Yeah.
What a story that is. Holy cow. What a beautiful day. This is I think it's the first time I haven't had a jacket, a vest, nothing on. No chill in the air. I can definitely feel a southwest breeze. We're up here on the weather deck, as Tim mentioned, brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. There is part of our state that has fogged over, so let's get you there. First off, we're going to go from sunny Portland to sunny Seaside, where it has been lovely. We do believe the north coast will see increasing cloudiness as we roll through the afternoon. Temperature right now nearing 60 degrees at 59 degrees. Now, when you drop into Lincoln County, widespread low cloud and fog banks really taking visibility next to nothing in some areas. This is the Inlet Ottercrest camera looking up to the north in Lincoln County. That's south of Lincoln City and certainly south of Depot Bay. Temperatures in the 50s where the fog has come in. And you folks watching us there probably will stay kind of foggy the remainder of today. Back to the inland sun. Salem is at 70 degrees right now. How about that? And Portland from the Pioneer Park building with the sunshine. Not quite as warm. 65 is the number with a southwest breeze here in downtown. Weather models like us getting up to about 75, 76, 77 this afternoon, Tim. That's on the heels of yesterday's record high of 79 degrees that we had out at the airport. Our weather, this is the finale of this crazy warm stuff. We'll have a cooler day tomorrow. Some rain chances also coming up on the 7-day. Tim, back to you.
All right, Rod, thanks very much. Here's a look at some national headlines this afternoon.
Pretty shot of the sun coming up. Good morning. Welcome to Today on this Monday morning. We are so glad you started your week with us, and it is good to be home.
Yes, it is good to have you back at home.
Today, Savannah Guthrie making her return to the Today Show. Guthrie had stepped away from her anchor role there after her mother, Nancy Guthrie, disappeared from her Tucson home more than 2 months ago. Authorities are still searching for Nancy, and the Guthrie family has offered a $1 million reward for information leading to her recovery. And a health alert today, more than 3 million eye drop bottles have been recalled due to sterility concerns. The eye drops, sold at major retailers like CVS, Walgreens, and Rite Aid, were sold under many different names, including artificial tears, dry eye relief eye drops, ultra lubricating eye drops, and soothing tears, to name a few. The FDA says using these products may cause temporary or medically reversible health effects. Health officials say anyone with these products should immediately stop using the affected bottles. Well, the Writers Guild of America says it has reached a contract deal. It's with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. According to Variety, the agreement is expected to include a health care funding boost. Union members still need to approve the plan. Contract talks between the two sides in 2023 resulted in a 148-day writers' strike. Well, 5 people were taken to the hospital after a crash on North Columbia Boulevard under the I-5 freeway. Portland police responded just after 8 last night and found a car on fire. They say all 5 people are expected to survive and the cause of the crash is unclear. They ask any witnesses to reach out and share what they know. Well, in Southwest Washington, it was an unfortunate outcome for a stranded young gray whale. On Saturday, marine scientists discovered the juvenile gray whale that had made its way into the Willapa River had died. Struggling whales and rivers have become part of a growing and worrying trend, with the Willapa being the 3rd river to see a whale appear. The gray whale population has actually dropped by more than 50% in the past decade. So far this year, 6 have already died.
I have been really concerned and alarmed by the number of gray whale strandings we've had, but this one up the river doesn't stand out that much just because often these are accompanied by strange behavior or strange locations.
Scientists plan to conduct a necropsy on the whale if they can get to it safely. Officials are urging the public to avoid approaching that whale carcass. Well, scientists are also looking into 2 dead gray whales found along the beach at Ocean Shores in Grays Harbor County, Washington. The group says they're male and female, 42-foot adults, and were both malnourished when they washed ashore on Saturday. The male had significant head trauma, which points to colliding with a ship. They say gray whales are generally solitary, so these strandings are likely due to migration patterns and tides. Well, this afternoon, a 15-year-old remains in the hospital after a fall of more than 50 feet down an embankment. Officials say it happened near Southeast Stark Street on Saturday afternoon. KGW's Jake Holter spoke to one of the firefighters who helped rescue that teen.
He was very tough. I will give him a lot of credit.
Dramatic photos shared with us by the Gresham Fire Department of the high-angle rescue of a 15-year-old boy who fell more than 50 feet Saturday afternoon.
They lower with a rope system, a rescuer and a Stokes basket down over the side of the cliff. We were able to get to him and bring them down directly on top of us, basically. And then we load the patient into that Stokes basket, make sure they're secure, and then raise them back up over the cliff.
Fire Captain Travis Souls, along with fellow firefighter Mike, reached the boy by water and climbed up into the wooded area to reach him. So this is about as close as we can get to show you, but if you look here, the tree line across from this stretch of sand along the Sandy River is where firefighters were able to rescue the boy.
We basically used his description. He was actually, the patient was the caller, from what I understand, and his cell phone location. We were able to pinpoint and kind of get an idea of where he was at.
The fall from along Southeast Stark Street between Southeast 35th Street and Southeast Kerrs Lake Road in Troutdale. Souls says he wasn't visible from either the road or the water, hidden deep in the trees.
He did a lot to help with the success of his rescue he was fortunate that he didn't get knocked unconscious and that he had his cell phone with him.
Souls says he had multiple injuries, but he was stable and conscious last he heard. The boy in the hospital now, but Souls emphasizing just how courageous he was.
He was very brave, he was very strong. He kept a good sense of humor through the whole thing, and that's to his credit. And he was really lucky.
Jake Holter, KGW News.